Hello my hungry friends, my name is Anna. In 2001, I moved to America from my hometown of Szczecin, Poland to be with the love of my life, Mark. While living in the US, I realized that I wanted to share my passion for Polish cuisine with America and the world. So finally, in 2015, I started a Polish food blog. After my husband retired from the army, we decided to start a new adventure in my native home. We spend our time showing the world the wonders of Polish cooking in our kitchen, and sometimes we shut down our kitchen and explore Poland together to find as much good food as we can. Welcome to Polish Kitchen. Hello my hungry friends! This is Polish Kitchen, my name is Anna, and today we're cooking delicious fish pierogi inspired by our last trip to the seaside here in Szczecin. If you are new here, please visit. Obviously you're already here, so welcome. But if you visit our channel, you'll see a bunch of videos about Polish cooking, about Poland when we travel around and our kitchen is closed. So last weekend we went to, last couple weeks ago?
Sure.
We went to a nearby city called Kamień Pomorski, where a super delicious restaurant cooks super delicious fish pierogi, and they were so amazing. I decided to make my own version, and the only tip they gave me was that there's fish and herbs and spices in it.
Not a lot to go on.
Not a lot to go, but I made my version. They are delicious, so let's make some today. So we're going to start by making a simple pierogi dough, and I make it out of 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 whole egg, and if you have a stand mixer, this is going to be super easy for you because you're going to just put all this stuff inside, turn on your mixer, and mine is old so it does its own thing and goes fast and slow sometimes. And I'm going to start adding water and keep mixing. Did I say it's a 1.25 cups of warm water? I don't think I said that.
I don't know.
And then I just put it all in here. It's just gonna let it go, let the hook do its thing, and come back in about 2 minutes, and we'll be ready to go. So if your dough looks like this, you're done. If it sticks to the sides of the bowl, just add a couple tablespoons of flour and just let it go for a few more seconds until it forms a ball. So we're done with the dough. I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna start working on our filling. And then we'll be done in no time. Our dough is wrapped up in plastic and it's resting. So I'll start working on our cod filling. So I have cod fillets. Here, if you're a fisherman and you always have enough or too much, this is a really good idea. So I'm gonna dry these fish pieces real quick. And we're gonna get help from our machines and our dogs. So I'm just gonna cut this in smaller pieces, like a large dice, and put it in my food processor, and it's gonna do the work for me. If you don't have a food processor, you can just mince the meat, cut it into smaller pieces. But it's okay if some of them show in our filling, you know, some a little bit looser and some a little bit bigger dice, so that's fine. Make sure your fish bones are removed. Nice clean fillets. It's gonna be tasty and herby, delicious filling. And to our fish, we're gonna add twaróg, but I'm gonna wait with that. But I will add spices now. I'm just gonna wash my hands real quick. Okay, and to our fish, I'm gonna add some salt. And this is half of the recipe that is on the website. And the link to the recipe is in the video description. But you can obviously double, triple, downsize, whatever, however much fish you have. So I'm gonna add some salt. And I'm gonna add black pepper. And as this is blending, it'll mix our spices together too. Onion powder. And I remember when I was eating those pierogi at the restaurant, They were nice and mild, but also herbal. And I just thought they were the best fish pierogi I've had. So I'm hoping that this will meet the criteria as well. And I'm adding a little bit of caraway seed. Make sure that your caraway seed is ground up finely. The flavor kind of distributes through the meat. And then I have lemon zest. I thought that would be also a good addition with the fresh and fruity kind of flavor to the zest. You can do a little bit or a little bit more if whatever you feel is right. And we're gonna blend this just a little bit. Check if these are maybe a little bit more. Fidgety little thing. So I don't want any kind of long stringy pieces in here, so that's what I'm checking for. Oh, sorry. But it's okay if some of them are bigger and smaller. I'm kind of going for that. That's good. This is kind of fidgety today, or is it me?
I don't know.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be
Everyone
me.
has an off day, but a mechanical thing just works or it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it may be me. Okay, I'm gonna use the same bowl. I'll just transfer this back into here. Smell killing you?
No, it's okay.
It's not too bad. Cod is quite a mild fish, and it's also a dry fish. So I thought it would be good to add a little bit of moisture. I'm using Polish farmer's cheese, which, as you can see, is a little granular like this. If you can't buy this, you can get this regular cottage cheese. Get the large curd and drain it as much as you can. It doesn't have to be completely dry, but just drain it as much as you can, and then I'll be crumbling this into my fish. You'll just add it to it. I just have to mix this together and we can get to filling. Let's not forget herbs. I have dill and parsley here. Chop them really fine, and you can do a combination of both or just one. Try to get fresh herbs if you can, because they do a lot more they deliver a lot more with their flavor than the dried stuff. Okay, our filling is done. It looks nice and green from all the herbs and the spices, and looks delicious. And the twaróg, the farmer's cheese, is gonna give us a little bit of moisture too, because cod is quite dry. So our dough is rested the time that it took for us to make the filling, which is just enough time. And if you've worked with my dough before, you'll notice that it's quite soft. So you can afford to fold in a little bit more flour into it if you want it a little bit tough, or a little bit tougher, or a little bit harder, or easier to work with. So I normally just put a little bit of flour on it and start rolling. Try to go as thin as you can, as thin as you feel comfortable with. I've managed to get my dough pretty thin.
Let me see.
Over the years.
That is thin.
I like a thin dough. I like a thin dough with a lot of filling. So if that's the way you like to do it as well, you can try doing that, or do what pleases you. right?
All right.
Now we're gonna cut out our circles.
What size do you reckon them circles are?
3 inches.
3-inch circles. Do you find that to be the perfect size?
Yeah, that's pretty standard. And then I'll take the circles as well, and if I feel the dough is a little bit too thick, then I'll kind of turn it around and squish it between my fingers a little bit and make it a little bit thinner. And I do save these, and I'll roll it out again and make more circles. So nothing goes to waste. You know how that goes. Okay, our circles are cut out, and I'm using a tablespoon to kind of measure out my dough into the circle. And I do a tablespoon and a little bit more sometimes, depending on how fat my
Every time you
dough
do this,
is.
I'm saying to myself that's way too much filling, and then somehow you always envelop it perfectly.
Ah, widzisz. It's just, I've made thousands of pierogi before, so. And then you can do a decorative edge if you like, or you can take a fork, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Can you get me a fork?
Hi, Captain.
And also, if you find that your dough is a little bit too dry around the edges, you can have a little dish with water and dab it and get the edges wet so they stick together better. I'll put it on the piece of the board where it's a little bit more floured, and then I go around and seal the edges like this. We're gonna drop our pierogi in batches, don't do it all at once, into boiling water. And I have the water on about medium-low. I don't want them boiling so hard that the dough falls apart and a big disaster. I don't want disasters. But I'm gonna put probably about 6 to 10 in this quite small pot. And then I normally just move the pot a little bit. It's very grainy and it sounds bad. Move the pot, or you can use a spoon to kind of wiggle them around in the water. And they're gonna start floating. And once they float, I'm gonna leave them boiling for about 3 minutes. And at 3 minutes, we're gonna eat. It's been 3 minutes. You can tell that the dough is nice and translucent. You can see the green speckles of the herbs and white speckles of the farmer's cheese through the dough. You want to keep it only as long as the fish cooks and the dough doesn't overcook. So there you go, easy, right? I'm gonna take them out. And I'm gonna garnish it a little bit with the herbs I used and some sauteed onions. Come on, does that not look good? Does that not look like you want to eat it right now, mister?
No. I mean, it looks like I want to eat it, but...
Well, let's try it. Okay, let's wait a second. Okay, let's taste them, huh? I'm gonna get a little bit of the onion on here. Let's see the inside. Looks delicious. Feel free to adjust any of the spices and do a little bit something different. But this is it. Delicious cod pierogi. Please visit polishyourkitchen.com for more Polish recipes and check out my cookbooks that we haven't had. I guess we didn't put any out today.
Here, I'll hand you one right quick. There you go.
On polishyourkitchen.com, up on top, a bookstore. I have 4 books that came out with Polish cooking, so I encourage you to check them out. All the recipes on the website are for you. Polish Your Kitchen on YouTube as well, and One more thing I wanted to say that just slipped my mind. Oh, yeah, working on dessert book. So that should be coming out soon too. That's it for today. Smudge and go. And then you're gonna taste some?
No. I've already been told that I'm a big, strong army boy, but I won't eat fish. Or, oh, the big, strong army boy doesn't eat fish. And how is the Wisconsinite not eat fish? Because I'm still a person, guys.
Yeah.
And I don't like fish. It tastes like
Okay,
butthole.
we're gonna do the filling now.
Okay.
Does that?
It looks gorgeous.
Does that? English is not my first language.